Dr. Roger Elmer again. We're Advanced Neurospinal Solutions. We're going to talk about autoimmune disorders and what they are. The reason is I have quite a few patients who already have autoimmune disorders before they get to me. And at any given time, 60-80% of my practice, the patients already have an autoimmune before they get to me. And we will discuss later on how and why patients get them. But we're going to talk about what it is to make it more clear. The immune system is about controlling your internal environment for several different reasons. You need to protect yourself, and we tend to think of it as a protection, but it goes far beyond protection. The immune system also allows us to optimize our system by cleaning out the garbage, taking out the trash. It also allows us an opportunity to live with the stuff that's inside of us. You may not realize it, but there's more stuff that's in you that isn't you than is you. And we have a symbiotic relationship with those things. If we have our immune system working optimally, we have a win-win proposition. That we're both benefiting. The stuff that's in you is benefiting, and you are benefiting. If you get behind, that's when you get sick. The immune system is there to try to keep that win-win balance. When the system goes awry, when you start getting sick a lot, especially as a child, croup, colic, sore throats, earaches, all kinds of things, after a while, the immune system steps up because it's worried that you might die. So it steps up its activity immune system wise, and as it's doing that, after a while you're not sick anymore. But then later you start to realize that you're insensitive to certain things in your environment. We tend to call that allergy. We now call that sensitivities because we're so sensitive and so sophisticated these days. Yet so many people have those problems. It means that we become intolerant of what's coming in from the outside. We can't trust it. We're not sure. Our brain can't control it, and therefore we'll just tag it and say we can't handle it. If we do that long enough, after a while we'll start to become intolerant of our own tissue, which we call autoimmune, and we'll start attacking it. Imagine if we're protecting ourselves with the immune system, and it's like a crime scene. And in that crime scene, you've got bad guys and good guys. And the good guys are finding the bad guys, and there's we call those T helper cells. Then they are calling the T killers and T chemotoxic cells to come over and to grab and kill the bad guys. Then you've got a thing called the T suppressor cells. They're the ones to say, okay, we're done. The crime scene is cleared and everything. Nothing more to see here. Stop killing. And then you've got also the T regulators. Those T regulators are the analogous to the police at headquarters, and they're calling out the needs and saying, okay, we need to get some suppressors in, or we need to make some more killers. They're controlling the whole thing. And autoimmune disorder really boils down to one of two problems, but it is all autoimmune. Whether you have MS and it's attacking your brain, whether you have Hashimoto's and it's attacking your thyroid, your in your stomach, attacking the lining of your stomach, B12 is not absorbent, we call it pernicious anemia, attacking connective tissue, lupus erythematosus, and I could go on and on and on. It still is just autoimmune. The rule is when you see one Indian, look for more Indians. With an autoimmune, it's attacking everything that's in you. What you're experiencing symptomatically is what is succumbing at the time. And I'm always interested when people come in and they say, well, my doctor says I now have lupus along with MS. I say, well, why was he surprised? He shouldn't have been surprised because you have an autoimmune disorder and it's attacking everything. Now, if you've got lupus, your connective tissue is succumbing to it. So we're going to draw this out real quick. We're going to make it more like a teeter-totter. We're going to call it TH1, TH2, and TH3. Okay? TH3 is the T regulators. They are the generals in charge, or you know, at the headquarters at the police force, right? TH1, TH means T helper. Th1 is the helper cells, or is the T cell. It's what we call the cellular response, and it includes the helpers, the chemotoxics, the suppressors, and the killers, and that is this side of the equation. This side is what we call the B cell, or the antibody response. The antibody response. And so if the Th1 cells or the Th2 cells are in balance, you will start to attack your own body. The first thing that usually goes is the Th3 system, which is the T regulators, and that's why we want to get those handled first. If the T regulators fall, they will either go one way or the other. And if that happens, we're going to wind up with an imbalance, and we'll start attacking ourselves. So let's say Th1, the cellular response, Th3 goes this way, Th2. So now we have high B cell antibody response, which means those B cells are tagging everything, and it's you, and it's tagged for death. It's because then once it's tagged, and that's what the B cells are doing, the helpers are nearsighted. Even though they can see better than the killers and the chemotoxics, there's some stuff that they can't see, and so they're tagging you, and the T helpers and the T killers and chemotoxics are coming and killing your own tissue. If you have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid, and it's attacking you and it's tagging, we need to stop it from tagging it so you'll stop killing the thyroid cells. That's why they keep increasing the amount of thyroid, because you keep killing the thyroid. So the strategy should be stop the immune system from killing the thyroid so that we can get ahead of this thing, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to get the Th3 handled. We do that with vitamin D, hypervitamin D. We're not going to talk about how that works. We'll talk about that in a later video. But then we're going to figure out, is it a Th1 versus a Th2 problem? Once we find which one is the high one, we're going to use botanicals to support the other one and bring it up into balance. When we restore it to balance, whether it's a high Th2 or a high Th1, when we restore it to the balance, you will stop killing your own tissue. And we do that with natural substances, things like echinacea, with vitamin D, and other botanicals, and we find out what your level of need is. But autoimmune is you are attacking your own body, you are killing it, and you need to stop killing yourself, which is really good advice.